Hi, my name is Thomas. I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Anago, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to use Anago Assemble to build an enterprise critical application. Anago Assemble consists out of two parts. On the left side you see the studio environment to build the applications. On the right side you see the application. To demonstrate this, we're going to build a simple application that will calculate the sales per product based on the units sold per product and customer and the price per product. The numbers are coming from an external database, in this case an Access database. In this simple demo we want to demonstrate an alternative for using spreadsheets. When we want to create a new solution, we have to log in using our username and password. We click on Create New Solution and we get a new blank sheet. The first thing we do is to define a new free model that will calculate the sales. We double click on the input 1 to define the dataset. It consists out of two dimensions. One of them is the product dimension. We don't fill in the details yet. And the other one is the time dimension, which will contain the months. We select the months using a selection and add them to the selection. Next thing is we give it a name. This one is called units. And we'll define the new input number 2, which will contain the price information. By double clicking on the new input, a structure comparable to the unit structure will appear, and we're going to rename this one to price. Next thing is we're going to remove the time dimension because this price structure is only one dimensional. It contains only one column of prices. And now we're going to define the output, which is the sales. Now we can calculate the sales by typing in a formula like we do in a spreadsheet. We reference both inputs, units times price, and we can give the calculation a name so we can read the calculation graphically. So called calculate sales. Close the editor, and now we get a model that can be read. However, we would like to calculate the sales based on units per customer and per product. So we're going to add another model, which could be one of the standard models in the library of Anago software. We choose the common statistics which can calculate the aggregation. By dragging the units on top of the output, we can connect the models together and we can define the input of the new model. It has a product dimension like our previous structure. It has a time dimension. Also, we select the same months here. But there's a third dimension which we're going to add now, and this is the customer dimension. So we can create a three-dimensional structure. Also, we don't define the customers themselves because they come from the operational system we're going to connect with. We're going to give this thing a name, call it units per customer, and we're going to close the window. We can also change the formula that's being used in the common statistics by choosing one of the parameters. It could be the sum, the average, etc. In this case we're going to aggregate the units, so we're going to take the sum, and we're going to give this one also a new name so we can improve the readability of the calculation. The next thing we would like to do is connect our inputs, our datasets, to our operational system. In this case it's an Access database. We're going to pick one of the technology, in this case Microsoft Access, and we get a list of all the available databases. We pick the ERP system, get a list of the tables, we pick the order table, and we're going to connect the fields from the table to our dimensions. We do it one by one by selecting a field. In this case we're going to add new products to our dimension automatically. We're going to connect our time dimension to a field called date month, and we're going to connect the customer dimension to our customer field in the database and also add new customers to our dimension. The units sold is going to connect to a field called units sold. In this case we have defined the connection. We're going to repeat this for the price. It's the same database, but it's in this case a different table. The price is only one dimensional, so in this case the mapping is easier. We take the product ID field, add dimensions, and also we're going to connect the price fields not to the purchase price but to the market price in order to calculate the sales. Now we've defined the model, the connections, and we're going to save the model, give it a name, And next thing we have to do is define the view. The view can be defined by clicking on the view layout, and we get to choose one of the standard templates. We pick a 2x2 dashboard. We get 4 cells, and in every cell we can put one of the involved data sets from our calculation. So the first thing we do is take the units per customer. The second cell we take the units. The third cell we take the price. And in the last cell we put our sales. Okay, it's showing us a table now, and let's make it a chart. And we can change the displaying of decimals by clicking on tables, removing the decimals from the first 2 tables, and we could make the last one, the price table, we could make it editable by changing the editable property to true. This means that the user can change the values and do what if scenarios. Okay, now we're going to test it by clicking on the test button, enable the connections, and now the application is generated, the application database is generated, all the structures are generated. And now the connection with the Access database is run. So all the data is being extracted from the Access database and loaded in our application. When the distribution is finished, the end user environment will start, offering the menu. And when we click on the one step in the menu, the dashboard will open with the 4 dashboard items on it, the 3 tables and the chart. You can see that all the product names are listed there, the customer names are filled in. There's data there, the units sold is filled in, the price information is filled, and we can calculate the data by clicking on the execute model. The screen refreshes itself and it will show the aggregated units sold and the sales. And we can change the price now to see what if the price changes, what will it do with our sales. And you can see here now that the sales has been updated with a larger sales for the blenders. If we want to change the view, for example, we can go back to the design mode, click on the chart and add, for example, the legend to the chart. Or we could display it somewhere else. Or if we want to change the model, for example by changing a forecast, add a forecast to our sales, we can go back and add a new model. And so we can gradually extend our application with other models, complex calculations. In this case we connect the sales to the forecast model, and now the two are interconnected and we can calculate the forecast.